shit. Some dudes. Okay. God damn it. There we go. I have an hour free, so I figured I'd answer some questions if you got them. This is eerie light on Halloween. See, the light bulbs are out here. That's why it's so dark. Happy Halloween, man. Do you guys have Halloween in Canada? Is that a thing? You are Canadian, right? I feel like you're Canadian. You're too nice to not be Canadian. So if you just ask me questions if you got about training, life, etc. Do you guys hand out like more healthy things than we do in the U.S.? Like apples instead of Snickers? Hey, some better fucking lighting. What is this? Do better. There we go. Ooh. You guys ask me any questions if you got about training. I got an hour free now, so I figured I'd had a client cancel. Yeah, the bats and darts. That's amazing. And hockey sticks. And apologies. So dudes are joining us. If you got any questions, just ask them, whatever they happen to be. I kind of lied in the title. I'm not actually drinking coffee right now. Just water. These forearms, huh? These things. Boom. On my quads to leave behind humanity behind. If I want to have my quads leave humanity behind, what exercise should I do? Squat. Definitely squat. Do sissy squats. Hey, Halloween, man. Norwegian squats are amazing. If your knees can handle it, those like heels elevated squats I was doing like last week. Those really fucking get the quads. Holy shit, I'm like still sore from those. What else? Split squats. Ride a bike. Yeah, those will get you some pretty beefy nugs on your legs. Doing those. That's some creepy light. But yeah, you definitely got to squat if you want some big ass quads. Any squat variation, just switch it up too. Honestly, some leg extensions can be okay. I really like the sissy squats and the heels elevated squats. So, do you see Alan's throw meat? Yeah, dude, I actually watched that. It got suggested for me, Alan Thrall's meat video, and my God, that was. So I think he weighed in. Yeah, it was so quiet. I think he weighed in at like I saw at the end. He was like either 111 kilos or 117 kilos. That's like what 245 pounds or 260 or something. 244 he weighed in at. Okay. He didn't even get a 600-pound deadlift. Man, what was the squat 5 something too? Low fives. How is that guy allowed to give lifting advice? Seriously. Oh, he only trains for those lifts too. 550 squat, man. Oh, I get the idea behind that new federation. I think it's starting strength sounds. I get the idea, like exchanging the bench with the press, but he does have a pretty good production team. I'll give him that. So I get the idea of taking out the bench and putting press because it's more of a, I don't know, there's less cheating involved with the arch and stuff. So everything's more similar. There are people worse than him on YouTube. That's fair. So I get that, but then the problem is like a bench is much closer in weight to your squat and deadlift than an overhead press would ever be. So maybe it should be a push press or something, or I don't know. It's Like you can just have a really shitty overhead press and still do pretty well in that kind of competition. Just if you have a big bench and squat. So I don't know. Maybe we should take out the squat, make it a front squat then, or something. So it's more. I don't know. I get the idea, but it's kind of dumb. The problem with Alan Thrall is that he gives universal cues, which is a big no-no. That's bad. Anyone who gives universal cues has clearly never coached much of a variety of person at a high level. The universal cues are bad. He has a complete misunderstanding of other training programs. He did a video on 5-3-1 and completely misrepresented what 5-3-1 is. So he just, like you said too, he shills starting strength. He's pretty weak. Like the dude, he literally trains for a living. That's all he does. And having those numbers at his size is just, it's ridiculous. It's piss poor is what it is. That's Alan Thrall costume. Where else was Alan Thrall? So yeah, 5-3-1 was ridiculous. The coaching cues he makes, he doesn't take credit for anything. He made these shitty videos years ago, and he's like, "Oh, you can't just pull this so effective." Sorry. The problem, so Chris is a guy like Chris Duffin. I think he's okay. The problem with Chris Duffin I have is that the problem I have with Chris Duffin is he's always doing these like injury prevention videos and like mobility videos, and the dude, like when he gets in a squat, it looks fucking painful for him. I don't know. Like, have you ever seen him squat? Like when he gets his like arms off again, like when he unracks it and stuff, it looks so painful. Everything he does just looks like he's in like horrific pains. Something's not up, or something's up with him. I don't know. He's a strong dude, and I respect him though. Does focusing on only one lifts, or is focusing only on one lift so effective because it allows maximum focus, intensity, and better recovery? I had good results pulling other lifts on the back burner before, and that was my takeaway. Yeah, pretty much. So part of it is getting a lot of practice, and you get to do it every day. Like if you want to get good at shooting a basketball, you wouldn't shoot once a week. You shoot every damn day. So you build skill in lifts a lot faster, which helps. And like you said, you're hitting that maximum intensity, and you get really good at maxing out too, which helps. Let's see. Pedals is made. Yeah, the pedaling of shit is dumb. Anyone who pedals stuff they're selling is dumb. Yeah, Chris Duffin is shit. I'm just saying, like, I think he's a great lifter. I really respect him. It's just everything he does looks so fucking painful. It's so weird. Yeah, I don't know. Something. Maybe his injury prevention methods are good. Stuff that seems okay. It's like his advice is fine in it, but it's not working for him. I think he seems like he's always hurt and in pain. So I don't know, but I really respect the guy. He's strong as fuck, so can't take that away from him. You know, but I don't really watch many big YouTubers. I'm trying to think. I've been listening to some podcasts recently. I listened to a podcast with the head athletic trainer of the Carolina Panthers football team. That was really interesting. He was saying how, just how the carryover to athletics is so important, and that your numbers in the gym, if you're an athlete, don't really matter that much as long as you're getting better at your sport. And he does a lot of like West Side Barbell type stuff. The podcast I'll have to look up. I can't remember. It's like Barbell something. Not Barbell Shrugged, and it's not West Side Barbell, but it's Barbell something, I think. People talk shit about movements that you do, Eric, another guy. All right. People who talk shit about movements that you, Eric, and other guys do, and people think they're dumb, but they can't lift for shit. Yeah, seriously, that's most people would comment on our stuff. How often do I do mobility stuff? Not as often as I should. I have pretty decent mobility. I'm not amazing. I'm not a Chinese weightlifter, but I try to like do some hip stuff every night. I'll just do like a quick little hip flow. Nothing fancy. I'll just go through some hip flow stuff. Just kind of before I go to bed, I usually sleep better if I do. So I try to do that at least because I don't sit much at work, which helps. most people just sitting, hunched over all the time, and I'm not like that. I'm standing up most of the day, so that helps. But I don't do a whole lot. My clients do a lot because most people just have shit mobility. Hips are always bad, ankles are bad, and shoulders are always atrocious. So I really focus on that. I have them do a lot of thoracic stuff too. Some thoracic twisting and whatnot. Let's see. Do you think there's any difference between underhand rows and overhand rows with back development? I think it's good to do a mixture of both. If you're only focused on one, you might get slightly more out of underhand grip, so a supinated grip, just because a lot of people are better at activating their back with that grip. Have you tried arm wrestling in a serious club? No. I think I'm probably pretty good at arm wrestling. Actually, I should try that. I'm getting imbalance in upper rectors. Not sure how to fix it. So what you could do if you have an imbalance, you can do some mixed grip rowing, which sounds kind of weird, but doing like mixed grip deadlift, one hand supinated, one hand pronated, doing rows like that, it's a good way to fix imbalances. If you feel a difference and you're pulling on both sides, that can be a good way to kind of reteach your body how to pull evenly. It's pretty simple, but you can load it up pretty much the same as a normal row. So let's see. What's your take on imbalances? Do you feel it's mostly from genetics? No, it's probably very little from genetics, if at all. With imbalances, usually daily habits impact that. If you drive a lot, one leg's probably be extended, that one's kind of like moving all the time, so imbalance in that. Sports always cause imbalances. Everyone's got a dominant side too, of course, which usually like if you favor your right side, you're probably gonna have to be strong on that side. But it can all be addressed. I don't think imbalances are the end all be all of lifting. Fixing them is not. It's important. There should be some closeness and strength and control. But having imbalance isn't necessarily the end of the world. Like Major League Baseball pitchers, they're obviously dominant throwing with one arm, and it'd be stupid for them to practice throwing with their non-dominant hand because it wouldn't do anything. So depends on your goals really. If your goal is a big squat, then you want to definitely fix your imbalances to an extent. If your goal is to be really good lunging, then fuck it, have imbalances. It's not, as long as they're relatively close, you're not going to hurt yourself, most likely. That's what we got him. Thoughts on one arm chin up? I think people can do that. That's extremely impressive. I do pull-ups with a mixed grip. It feels fucking dope. Yeah, like mixed grip pulling is definitely a thing people should do. Do overhand on my weaker side. I would overhand your weaker. Yeah, that's right. Overhand your weaker side. I should do both. Just switch. Like do one set that way, one set that way, and it'll balance out over time. Right, Edge Intensity vid where he made fun of CrossFit coach telling people to do mixed grip tactical pull-ups. Like that, I get that. Like that's. But when you're doing it for a specific reason, don't just do it because it's another variation. Do it for a reason if you're doing mixed grip rows. Which means a bone that sticks under my right pec. So, if you have like actual, I think I meant muscularly genetic issues. If you got a bone, then there are ways to like work around stuff. But again, having imbalances aren't the worst thing in the world. But yeah, Edge Intensity got pretty bland. You guys are right. It's okay to have a rounded back deadlift sometimes. At the end of the world. What do you think about CrossFit? I think a lot as good as come from CrossFit. A lot of stupid stuff has come from it. Like those like bands everyone uses. I don't know if you guys remember, but 10 years ago, that shit was so hard to find. Those bands. Like now you can go to fucking Walgreens and find those bands for like $3. Those things were hard to find. Lifting equipment's gotten a lot cheaper. Barbells, I think the quality's gotten better and the prices have gone down. That's a really big takeaway. I think in the U.S. especially, weightlifting has gotten more popular, like Olympic weightlifting because of it, which is always good. And I think most people are so bad at working hard in the gym, especially people who never came from an athletic background, and it kind of, at least to some extent, forces hard work, whatever hard work is to a person. But I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with CrossFit. I think it has problems just like every other strength sport. Powerlifting has problems. Strongman has problems. Olympic weightlifting has problems. So it's just, it gets shit on a lot because they do kipping pull-ups, which I do think is pretty dumb. But like I said, at least people work hard. Do you fuck with West Side at all? Throwing bands? Yeah, I did that triple banded Jefferson not too long ago. The problem with bands I've noticed is with the Wisconsin method, it takes a little too much from the recovery. It's just a little bit too much to recover from, so I don't do too much. There was a study with football kickers and having them practice with their non-dominant leg. Apparently, it helped imbalances and helped the dominant leg. That's honestly really interesting. That's really interesting. I guess it'd be some kind of like proprioception increase or something. That's interesting. Or is it that they're fixing muscular imbalances, not so much skill imbalances? That'd be interesting. I'd like to find that study. I'll have to look that up. That's cool. So it is good. Try to think. But yeah, like imbalance. Like, if you guys have watched my channel for a while, whenever I do it's like single arm or leg stuff, you might notice I just do one side. So obviously I'm imbalanced decently, but I'm never too far off. Like I've hit the same number on Bugenhagen squats with both legs. I've done 405 with both. So I mean, I didn't even train the one leg in it. Let's see. CrossFit has done more for strength training than any other fad. That's true. It really has. Because how much you and Eric are blowing. I literally saw an Eric-related comment on the most random video. That's awesome. A buddy of mine on the channel, and we're friends on the PlayStation Network too. He was telling me he's like all over 4chan, like in the fit thing. There's a bunch of Eric Bugenhagen stuff. Do I know the channel through the Twisting Nether? He's a natty doing crazy lift too. He's a bit crazy though, new age vegan. I watched part of the interview that Phil did with him, but other than that, I haven't really watched his channel much. I think I saw him do like a double overhand rack pull with the shit ton of weight, which is pretty cool. I can't stand those. Yeah, I really haven't checked out his channel much. Let's see. The punting study is similar to what I've seen with training dominant, non-dominant arm javelin throwing. You have to be slightly more aware of what you're. That makes sense. We used to actually in baseball, we used to practice sometimes throwing with a non-dominant hand just to, so we'd be less, I don't know, willy-nilly with our normal throws. Let's see. How much do I need to deadlift to get laid? Currently 425 for a double and no luck getting laid. More than 425 apparently. I don't know. I shouldn't feed the trolls. There was a new one coming in the last few videos asking where I get my test. People think I'm on shit. They have really low standards. Or I've never actually met someone on stuff. What's my opinion on Mark Ripito? He's a terrible coach who's never done anything of note in his entire life other than be good at marketing his shit program that he stole. That's my opinion on Mark Ripito. I think anyone serious in the strength world doesn't take him seriously. He's fucking stole Bill Starr's program. You know? I mean, if you got you into lifting, then kudos. You know, that's good. But, I think, would you have, if you someone else who's more reputable, like if you start with Shaiko, maybe be farther now. So who knows? My friends and I plan to meet up every 2 weeks and do meet type training, maxing out on 3 lifts. First one's gonna be classic SBD, but what would you suggest for the next ones? I do like an alternate one. Do like front squat, behind the back deadlift, overhead press. Kind of keep the format similar, but then just change the lifts. That'd be kind of fun. Do you like KS and Payne, Jamie Lewis? Yeah, I love like KS and Payne's. He's fucking crazy, obviously, but he's. I love intensity, and he's about as intense as you can get. So, how do I get my test from my balls? I don't know why people like the natty policing shit needs to stop. It's really annoying. Like, I'm always on like Fitness Circle Jerk on Reddit, and half of them just go to that natty or not subreddit, and it's just like people putting up such mediocre numbers or looking so mediocre, and people are like, "Oh, on steroids." Who has articles dissecting Ripito? Is it Jamie Lewis? I believe it. What about those barbell medicine guys? I'm following that 8-week the bridge. I don't know who barbell medicine is. I'm sorry. At least he admits to doing Bill Sarr's program. It's something. But he still stole it. You know. Ripito got his foot in the door on Reddit, and that's why he has so much exposure. Exactly. He's a cultural icon at this point. The regression towards the mean is always done at the cost of specificity, quality. True. Yeah, through the twisting other sounds interesting. I should maybe look him up. And the problem too is that starting strength is in reality it's like a peaking program, and most beginners don't have anything to peak if you don't come from an athletic background. I think people who come from a big athletic background can succeed with it. Or is that why you get these people like, oh, I put 500 pounds on my squat in like 6 months? It's not because of the program; it's because of where their background. So, if you're an absolute beginner, like off the couch, it's probably the worst thing you can do. I think you need a better exercise selection, not better necessarily, but more varied. Learn how to move properly. Any experience with fixing loss of upper back tightness during the bench, other than not being able to not being a bitch about it? Do pause squat, or not pause squats, pause bench, focusing on keeping your back tight. That can help. What sort of linear progression do you recommend for beginners? I mean, if you're really dedicated to doing a linear progression, and you like something similar to strong strength or starting strength, Grayskull LP is better. I'd honestly recommend something more like 531 getting started. Yeah. Hello, Barris. What squat should I do next workout? Any squat. All squats are good. I've never found a squat I didn't like. I found deadlifts I don't like, but I've never found a squat I don't like. Basically, the barbell medicine guys, Austin Baraki and some other guy, shit on Texas Method and 531. You can't find the PDF for free on the website. Basically, intermittent. I don't know, man. I think the problem people don't go with 531. It's a method. It's not just a program. I mean, there are specific 531 programs, but it's more of a method. There's a lot of people misunderstand. Is misunderstand even a word? I don't even know. Sounds like a word. Do I prefer strongman or powerlifting? As a spectator sport, definitely strongman. I'm hesitant to even call powerlifting a sport because you're not one-on-one ever. Nothing. I don't want to shit on powerlifting. There's nothing wrong with it. To me, it's not really anything that it doesn't blow my hair back. Strongman, I think, is really exciting. Yeah, like they're trying way too hard, like the IPF, to become an Olympic sport. It's never going to for one reason, because the perception is that everyone's on steroids, and I mean a lot of them are, which isn't. It's whatever. I don't care if people take steroids, but they're trying to be so clean. It's just they're making it dangerous by just using the uprights. Like use a fucking monolift. You know, my squat is too much ass to grass. How can I reduce my depth? Just by controlling it. There's no. I mean, if you can squat ass to grass with like properly, I would. I mean, if you're not going to compete, then more power to you. What up, Ultra? He had a sweet, saw that sweet 405 Bugenhagen squat. He did. That was awesome. I was gonna be on that. Yeah, just control it. Do if you find that hard, do pause squats. People never pause their shit. It's good to pause stuff sometimes. If you have issues with that. I think Olympic weightlifting is way more exciting to watch than powerlifting. It still has its issues. Kind of same thing powerlifting does, where it's not mono. I think it'd be way more exciting if you had 2 guys on stage or whatever, or 5 people on stage. It was like, here, put 5 pounds on, put 5 pounds on, 5 pounds on. First one, or whoever goes the farthest wins, or something like that. It'd be way more exciting. Be more dangerous, I guess, but it'd be more exciting. But I like Olympic weightlifting a lot better than powerlifting. About Clarence Kennedy, strong fucking dude. Favorite strength athlete of all time, Bob Peoples. You can thank him for basically everything you have in your gym. Power rack he came up with, fucking trap bar he invented out of like some leaf springs from his wagon. Dude's a beast. He's deadlifted every day basically. I think he's the first person to deadlift 725 pounds or something. Just a farm guy. Had no coaching. Just dug a hole in his barn. Trained there. Fucking beast. Henry Garner was a bad man as well. He was. Yeah, 700 pounds single arm was insane. Yeah, Bob Peoples. If you don't know what it is, look him up. He was hell of an innovator. Yeah, man. Yeah, Bob Peoples is probably my favorite. A wrist curl safe. I don't see why not. If the shit I do, I think as long as you're, I don't know. I don't really know how you'd fuck up a wrist curl. But, yeah, Bob Peoples for sure. Paul Anderson. I like all those old school guys because, you know, they just kind of did their own thing and found different ways of getting strong. They weren't concerned about what program they were running and stuff. Will I ever come on Fit and shitpost there? No, I don't shitpost. Oh, I shitpost sometimes on the fitness subreddit. I'm thinking of Tony Huge, enhanced athlete. I don't know who that is even. Mark Bell's channel. It's overproduced. I would never watch it. I think he's fine, but there's an YouTube show, Strength Wars. Yeah, I used to watch that once in a while. It's kind of fun. I think Eric could be really good at that. I think he'd dominate. How to maximize glute hypertrophy. Do a lot of single leg stuff. Bulgarian split squats. Do regular squats too. This Tony Huge guy sounds weird as fuck. No, I don't know. I've never heard of him. I guess I don't watch a lot of YouTube fitness because most of it's just bullshit. All those like Meg squats people and stuff. I don't like it. How to minimize leg size while still getting stronger. Why would you want to minimize leg size? That's my question. The bigger legs, the better. I was just talking. People were asking about different channels. I wasn't really talking about ones I like. I watch a lot of you guys actually. I think the smaller channels are more fun. Favorite bodybuilder? Arnold, of course. Steve Reeves. Current ones? Dorian Yates. He's not current, but I don't really pay attention to bodybuilding too much. Hey man, that's not why she sucks. $27 isn't that big. I just like humping weights, all right? That's all. Dude, big legs are where it's at. Fuck big arms and chest and shit. I want some Tom Platz legs. That's the way to be. Fuck everything else. I want some speed skater legs. I actually used to speed skate when I was a kid. The Olympic training facility was here in Wisconsin, Milwaukee, the Pettit Center, and I used to go train there. My coaches were Olympians, which is fucking awesome. You speed skate, man? That's awesome. It's quick. That's my biggest regret was quitting that. Because where it's at as well. Did you say so? Oh, I don't know, man. I quit in like 8th grade or after 8th grade. No, freshman year of high school. I quit. What? I don't know. Want churro shell back? Do a bunch of fucking seated good mornings. Squats for some reason make my butt big, but quads are underwhelming. Not necessarily. Do more single leg stuff. It's true. Rank rats always do come back. I've been actually thinking about getting back into it. Just kind of messing around, but fucking skates are so expensive. I use some used ones. I have big feet, which is the problem finding used ones. No matter how hard I try to neglect my legs, they grow, and that's not true. Everyone who thinks they have too big of legs is wrong. Yeah, but think about getting this back into speed skating though. It's just expensive. What the skates are. Dude, seriously, single leg stuff fixes everything. Depression, don't have a girlfriend, whatever. How do you progress croc rows? I do the same arm every day usually, and if I'm feeling really shitty, I'll do my like non-dominant arm once, then go right back. What about Candido? How do I feel about Candido? I think he's good. I've watched a whole lot of his stuff. His programs seem fine from the few I've seen. He is well spoken and gives good advice. So I think Candido is good. How do I feel about RPE? I think it's good for people who have an athletic background and bad for people who don't. I've said before, like a lot of beginners, you'll ask them like, how hard did that feel on a scale of 1 to 10, and they'll say 8. And 100 pounds later, it still feels like an 8, and 100 pounds later, it still feels like an 8. So it's good for people who are former athletes, but bad for the general population. Overhead press 1 rep max is 185, and bench 1 rep max 265. This is a good ratio between lifts, or should my bench be higher? This seems pretty reasonable. Yeah, 3 gram for boots and blades sucks. As a rower, have you tried bouldering? Horizontal pulling is the archbishop of climbing. If grip strength is king. That's a good phrase. I like that. I'm gonna steal that shit. I've wanted to try it. I never have. I'm pretty heavy, so I don't know how that'd work. But most of my legs or most of my weight is in my legs and ass. So I don't know how good I'd be at climbing or bouldering. I've wanted to try it though. I have pretty damn good grip strength. It's different, obviously, on bouldering than a barbell, but I've always wanted to try it, just never have. There's actually a bouldering gym here in Madison that a friend of mine keeps trying to get me to go to. So maybe one of these days. How far do you believe in the natty strength gap? I think like the genetic limit is a fallacy. Obviously, people are genetically more predisposed to go farther than others, but people thought the 4-minute mile was impossible until that was broken, and then within like a few months, a bunch of people had done a 4-minute mile. Right now, like in the running world again, the 2-hour marathon. I think the second someone does it, a bunch of people do it. It's a mindset, like Eric always says. A lot of it. Talk about my take on steroids. If you're taking them, whatever, as long as you're honest about it, I don't care. I honestly, I think they should be legalized. With because most professional athletes are on them, and I think it would just make it safer for them. Not having to buy from sketchy sources and stuff. The thing with steroids people misunderstand, or I still don't know if that's the word. Don't understand is that you still have to work hard, so it doesn't necessarily take away from the work. It just allows you to work harder. Honestly, I don't know. Like steroids, like I would never take them. Like when I first started lifting, I honestly thought about taking them just because everyone wants a shortcut, but then I realized there are no shortcuts. But I would never take them because I always think in the future, like if I ever have kids and grandchildren or like my nieces now, I would never want to be like, oh, Uncle JJ is so strong, and like, oh yeah, kids, it's because I took steroids, So it's just, I don't know. Do whatever you want, but be honest about it. Do you ever feel people? How do you feel about who wants juice? Forever tainted, or a couple years and back to natty? I mean, most from what I've seen, read and stuff, like if you're off for a while, it doesn't really, you're pretty much back to normal. So, I mean, it sucks. I think it taints them more morally than it does physically. Have you heard of the fitness blog, the Titan Slacks of Dezo's band? Yeah, I read that quite a bit. There's some really interesting shit on there. That's actually I first found out about Bob Peoples. But downsides, if any, for replacing the squat with a hack squat. Less glute development, probably. Or a whole lot of glutes in the hack squat. Yeah, let's see. I love your channel. Thank you, man. Powdered Toast Man. Do you think strength performance will progress in a linear fashion alongside medicine and drug advancements? I don't know if in a linear fashion. I think it's always kind of playing catch up. People learn how to do things better, learn how to train better, learn how to use medicines better. So I think it's kind of a few steps behind always until we have Space Marine strength and gains. From what I've read, the proposed future of human evolution is that we'll eventually start getting smaller and our heads will get bigger. So I don't think we'll ever get Space Marine style. But yeah, like if you look at football players from the '80s compared to now, like when people saw the refrigerator Perry on the Bears in the '85, Super Bowl, that was the biggest dude in the fucking planet, and now he'd be tiny in the NFL. Not tiny, but he wouldn't be anything special at all. So I think a lot of it's just perception, and it slowly changes over time. I think a lot more people, again, maybe because of CrossFit, a lot more of the population are getting into training. What I do notice happening, though, is that there's more of a divide. There's those who are in really good shape, and there's those who are in awful shape and obese and stuff, and there's less people in the middle nowadays than there used to be. Armstrong would have been 200 million years ago with 30% more oxygen. I mean, that probably helps, especially with endurance stuff. Trump or Clinton? I voted Clinton. I live in Norway. I'm about as liberal as you can get, guys. I watched the World Series, of course. I'm a Yankees fan. I was pretty sad that they didn't get in. It was west side, the apex of strength training. I don't think it's the apex. I think West Side's a cool gym, though. They're, what's their phrase, like on the fringe after 30 years or whatever, and I like that. Stupid question, maybe. Do you know a good place other than YouTube to chat about and share stuff about lifting? Reddit, great. I actually made a Wisconsin Method subreddit, just r/Wisconsin Method. If you want to put stuff in there, people can feel free to message me, guys. I don't care. I'll try and respond at least. Get fucking nerd Astros Masters race. No way fucking thought. YouTube is a bit too close. Like it's too hard to get people to know you. Hey, I'm on PlayStation. Do you want to add me? My my username is really stupid, but it's 4cheese 2000 FOUR cheese 2000. Feel free to add me on there if you guys play PlayStation. You can talk to me. I chat with a few people on there already. Whatever. If you're nice, I'll give you my number. But yeah, talking about. Yeah, I'm a Yankees fan. I fell in love with him as a kid because of Derek Jeter, and yeah, just got a bit of fan ever since. Judge is such a beast. My God, he's gonna be amazing. What's that on Fit? I've literally never been on 4chan in my life, surprisingly. I've read things off of it, like the green text posts and stuff, but some of the stuff I read on Fit's pretty funny. There's some weird shit on there, but most of that was pretty funny. I wasn't gonna take it too seriously. Yeah, it's good stuff. But yeah, I don't go on 4chan. Surprisingly. I'm on Reddit a lot, though. I'm pretty active in the weight room subreddit. Do you play often? Are you gonna play Cuphead or Monster Hunter World? Cuphead looks amazing. I thought it was only on Xbox though. I just got Wolfenstein 2, and it's fucking amazing. Killing Nazis is amazing, obviously. Nazis and Klansmen feels really good to shotgun them in the face. So virtually. Let's see. I play pretty often though. John, could you talk about the main differences between training for mass gains and training for strength gains? I think for natty people, they're pretty related. I actually saw a study not too long ago. It was about how they think in natural athletes, whatever you want to call yourself, the main driver in size gains was strength gains, which is why I think Eric has started leaving humanity behind. Aaron Judge looks like a goddamn creative player. He's what will start happening when kids don't want to play football because of CTE. Exactly. Seriously. I think baseball players are going to start getting huge. Huge. yeah, Aaron Judge is just otherworldly. Doesn't look like a baseball player at all. But yeah, I think honestly, I think football is going to die away eventually. I played Jidge. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I think football is probably going to die away eventually. I think, like, if I had kids, honestly, I'm not sure I'd let them play. If their heart was really in it, like they wanted to go pro and that was their dream, maybe. But I'm not sure I'd let a child of mine play football. It's just, maybe rugby will take over eventually. Seems to be more acute injuries, but less long-term mental damage. So, really true. I think I'd probably be pretty good at rugby. Maybe I should play some rugby. If Judge could actually see the ball instead of taking daddy hacks at every ball he'd see, they would probably. Favorite push, pull, leg exercise. Favorite push, anything overhead, pull, croc rows, leg exercise. Like Bugenhagen squats a lot. I'm liking these front squat, or these SSB front squats quite a bit. They're hard, fucking hard they look. There's a video with, fuck's his name? Kevin Oak. I think like 700 pounds for a double. It was interesting because he was saying how to him they feel like a low bar back squat a lot, just easier on the joints. But to me, they feel absolutely nothing like a low bar back squat. They feel like just a really weird front squat. That was kind of interesting. Maybe they feel different depending on your leverages, or maybe on the safety squat bar you're using, depending on how far like stuff's bent and stuff on it. But that was interesting. Will you ever do a collaboration with Eric and have a glorious reunion? Yeah, hopefully I'll visit him in Florida one of these days. They're pretty sweet. It was always really a lot of fun training with him. He made me a better lifter and influenced him a little bit. I don't know, hopefully. Yeah, he was really fun to train with. It was always crazy going over there every weekend. I miss it when he left. But yeah. Favorite leg exercise though. I like those hack squats because no one else has ever done anywhere close to as heavy as not hack squats. I mean sissy squats, because most people aren't doing the balls to do it like I do. So Athlete X, never watched any of his stuff. Gateway band into metal. I think it's probably Kill Switch Engage. Well, I listened to like post hardcore stuff before that. So probably in 7th grade, I heard Glassjaw, which I'm gonna go see them this Friday. Heard Glassjaw and they had some metal influences. And I slowly morphed, and then probably after that I was like Kill Switch, and then kind of got harder as I went. So, get some post-hardcore stuff. Thrice probably got me into it too. What do you think of Alan Thrall? I think you guys know what I think of Alan Thrall. Yeah, Gateway Metal was opinion on Death Grips. I don't know. What do you mean Death Grips? Parkway Drive. I never actually listened to them really. I mean, I've heard them, but I never actually listened to them. Death Grip, you mean like the squeezy grips? I don't think they have much carryover to lifting. Do you believe that those who start young in a sport have a big advantage over ones starting later? From that, your body will build in a different way. I don't think it'll build in a different way. You'll have a lot better base to build off of. Like again, the problem. No, I haven't heard of them. So the problem with like starting strength, for example, you're building a pyramid upside down. You have no base, and you're trying to build this strength off of nothing. So eventually, it's going to tip over. Thing with like athletes, you have this massive base, and you might not have built up at all, but you have this massive base. You played, basketball or baseball, any sport really. So you have a lot bigger base. Certain sports you have more than others, but you'll be able to progress a lot quicker. You'll probably go farther just because age catches up to everyone eventually, to some degree. Like if I ever have kids, I'll make them play sports. Like I'm not gonna be a crazy dad that they have to play every day and stuff, but they to at least a certain age, way better off as an adult. So, because you never know. Even if you don't like sports as a kid, you might want to get in the gym when you're 40, and you have a lot easier time if you play sports as a kid. They're just off the couch. So, yeah, I think that sports for children is very important. So that's why it's really sad in the U.S. A lot of gym classes are going away, a lot of music classes too, which is really sad. That's going to start affecting shit down the road. You have a lot of weak 40-year-olds in 20 years from now. So, which sucks. I saw a study, generally because of they're reducing recess a lot in the U.S. That the average American in 20 years will have half the grip strength of the average American now, and already we have about half the grip strength of our parents' generation. Just because we're hanging a lot less as children, they're taking a lot of weight. They've taken away a lot of monkey bars a lot of places for liability issues, which sucks. And kids are just playing less, so we'll get some weak people eventually. How to do unconventional stuff at commercial gyms? Instructors stare at me when I do sumo deadlifts like it's a forbidden thing. Fuck instructors. Who cares what people think? Just do whatever makes you happy. Unless it's like killing or something, don't kill people. Learn that. Any lifetime lifting goals numbers? I want to hit a 700-pound ox lift. I think someone told me a while ago they saw a 650 somewhere. I could not find that anywhere. I've seen a 600 on YouTube, but I've done 620. I think that's the best. So if someone can link me that 650 one, if it exists. Definitely 700-pound ox lift eventually. That's honestly really the only one. Usually it's just my actual goals always when I ever start a lift, I want to do 1,000 pounds on every lift, even though it's like super impossible for most stuff. Like if I'm doing a curl, I want to do 1,000 pounds. That's my end goal always. So I don't know. In Italy, I've never found a park with calisthenics bars. That sucks. I wish they'd put more calisthenics parks at places. A lot of people seem like to get into that stuff. Is lacking leg development usually, but what's your max on Jefferson deads? I don't know. I started doing them not too long ago. What did I do, like 515, 535? But I stopped. I just got really bored of them real fast. Heart wasn't in them. So I don't know. It's probably around. I'm not particularly good at Jeffersons. They're probably absolute max around 550-ish. I don't know. Probably rings and all sorts of. That's awesome. It's true. There was right before I left Norway to come back to the U.S. I was in a calisthenics park a lot because I sold my gym and stuff, didn't have access anymore. There was a calisthenics park like a few blocks from my apartment, so I was going there every day. And it was really funny to see the people like hiding their tiny legs. Like every single calisthenics guy there had like the shorts that go down like almost to your ankle, like super baggy. That was really funny. Big upper bodies though. I'll give them that. But just like every other training program, like calisthenics or training specifically for calisthenics has its issues. But yeah. I'm not very good at Jeffersons though. I was short arms. Anything off the floor is always hard for me. Do you ever train forearms? Is there a reason to do it? I never train them. I have pretty decent things going on here. Please tell the story of me in Norway and the gym. So my dad's from Norway. So he's a Norwegian citizen. He was born there and stuff. Moved here when he was a kid though. So I have dual citizenship because of him, which is pretty sweet, especially for traveling. I can pretend to not be American in some places. So after my second year of college, I moved over there to study and stuff. And I was only going to be there for a year, but then I ended up staying for about 7. So I worked at like a normal like Globo gym for a while, and then I decided to open my own. So I stole all the clients from the gym I worked at. It was a really small place. It's called That Damned Gym, which used to be the name of this channel. Little place, private. At my gym, there's a clause in the contracts where if they weren't working hard enough, to my perception, I could kick them out at any time. So I just kicked out about a third of the people who came in there. I was very strict. Trained a nice wide variety of people. I had some professional athletes. I had a really good bodybuilder and stuff, skiers, and just normal people too. Some grandmas, some office workers, whatever. Wide range. As long as they worked hard, that's all I care about. So it's pretty cool. It was a cool little gym. It was in the basement of what used to be the Center for Disease Control in Oslo. Down this dark, dingy hallway and hardly any lights. At the end was this glorious little gym. So, do I ever do high volume? Very rarely. Very rarely. But I moved back to the U.S. last November, so about a year now. I just kind of miss the U.S. surprisingly. Got a lot of problems, but it's home. So, yeah, I moved back here about a year ago, and then that's that. I'll probably start a gym here pretty soon too. It's fun. It's nice being in control of your clients, especially like clientele. So, yeah, like real gyms, you got to. I think more gyms need to start kicking people out. I made okay money. I wasn't rich or anything, but good. Profit shoe shirt. Thank you. But yeah, I got a few more minutes, guys. I have one more client tonight, so I gotta get back to work in like 5 minutes. But last couple questions. These are fun. It's nice talking to you guys. I enjoy doing these. Try to do them like once a week. Do you have any experience with business management prior to opening a gym? Nope. That was hard. That was the hardest part. I am terrible at budgeting and stuff, so that was hard. But yeah, it's that was rough. Doing taxes, the Norwegian tax system is kind of weird. It's great because the taxes are really high there, and it's awesome because there's welfare for everyone and healthcare and schooling. High taxes are good, promise. The socialist utopia. But yeah, that stuff was pretty hard. It was a good learning experience, though. Thanks, man. I'm glad you like it fun. Socialism saves your ass if your house is on fire. Think of it that way. But yeah, that's about all with Norway. Great country. I loved living there. Now I can speak Norwegian, so that's pretty sweet. Talk more about Bulgarian. I mean, Wisconsin method. Oh, for beginners, I don't think absolute beginners should do Wisconsin method or Bulgarian. I think you can take things from it. I think like squatting every day can be a good day for beginners. Not maxing out, but I'm not going to go into politics. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. But it always starts arguments in the U.S. If you ever notice, this is every American, me included, we're always very for or against stuff. If you ask any American if they like cats, every American will say either they hate cats or they love cats. You ask them about cupcakes, they fucking hate cupcakes or they love cupcakes. It's the only thing on earth. That's what causes a lot of problems, I think, in the U.S. Is I do it myself too with politics too. Everyone's got problems, but anyway, back to Bulgarian for beginners. I think you can take things away from it, like squatting every day can be a really good idea. Again, not maxing out, but just like doing some goblet squats every day, or some bodyweight squats, or slightly heavy squats, just with the barbell even. America is number one. We are, but we're also last place. But yeah, so I think there's things you can take away from Bulgarian, but I don't think you should start with it. You're not gonna have a big enough base. You're not gonna know how your body works very well. So it's great. Every Day by Matt Perryman. No, I haven't read that. My first taste of Bulgarian was squatting every day. Though, like maxing out. And I got introduced to that through John Bros, who's a weightlifting coach out of Las Vegas. He's good. He's a cool guy. The only country I've been to is Brazil, and I fucking hate Brazil. Never been there. I know I've met a few Brazilians, and they're nice enough, so I don't know. Easy now, don't start fighting. Every country has its greatness, and every country has its problems. So, so I got here. All right, one more minute. Last question. Very last question. What's the most lower back dominant lift you could do on Bulgarian? Probably the seated good mornings. I've only met nice Brazilians, and this guy here seems nice too. Be nice. Yeah. All right, guys, I gotta go. Thanks again for chatting. Always fun. I'm gonna go hit hopefully 585 on the SSB front squats today. So have a nice day yourself. Have a happy Halloween. Be safe. If you got kids, be safe. Don't be a helicopter parent if you're going trick or treating. Let your kids get into trouble. Good night, guys.